All right. Well, in the meantime, as you may know, of course, this is a website, exploitpack.com. Let's talk about it, how to get exploit pack first. So, of course, you need to hit the website, and then you can click on the download button, and then from there you will find the latest version. The latest release, it is the version 13. The manual version is 2.4. So that's the latest one at the moment that I'm recording this video. Well, exploit pack works in any platform. It works for Windows, Linux, OS X. So basically, anywhere that that you can run a Java application, then you will be able to run exploit pack as well. It's portable, so doesn't need to be installed in your machine. Just download the zip file, uncompress it, and of course you will need the Java. You can get Java from the Oracle website or OpenGDK. So this is the Oracle website, Oracle Java. So you can get it from here, or is this the one? I think so. Yeah, or java.com, or you can get OpenGDK. Well, basically, if you are running a Linux box, basically will come with OpenGDK ready pre-installed in most of the cases, like Ubuntu, Kali. So you can run it right away from there. How to run it from the console? So basically, you go into the folder that you have exploit pack installed. This is VMware with Windows 10, but it same apply for Linux. So you open your console, and then from there you can do Java -jar and then exploit pack, and then you can choose go ahead and run it. Besides that, there are some requirements that you need to have pre-installed before running exploit pack. It's the Java, of course, Python 7. Yes, we will migrate to Python 3, but that's still ongoing. That's still an ongoing process. Scapy, that's gonna be used by the fuzzer. Roper, that's something exploit pack used to create rope chains, and mmap, of course, because that's the input we use for the scanners. And if you are running an Ubuntu or Debian or something, anything that is .dev based, then basically you can just run sudo apt-get install and then all these packages, and then you are ready to go. From Linux, you can choose execute run exploitpack.sh. That's basically we'll choose call exploitpack.jar and fulfill the requirements. And from Windows, you can double click exploitpack.jar. All right, so well, let's go ahead and see the changes. So double click on it, and then what's going to happen on the beginning, you will not have the exploit folder, but it will be created for you as soon as you load exploit pack. On the free version, you will not have access to a few features, but if you have the premium version like me, then all the features will be unblocked for you. Besides that, besides having access to the full features of exploit pack from a premium perspective, you will also have access to updates, ODAs, trainings, like the one we are doing now. This is just a free training for you guys to see the new things that exploit version 13 has. But besides that, we also give training for the premium members related to reverse engineering, exploit development, and anything related to IT security. And you can see a few trainings that's going to happen if you click on training list. Then, for instance, we have reverse engineering basics, exploit development, I just mentioned, penetration testing, and red team exercises. So you can enroll to those if you are a premium member, and also there are some sporadically sporadic trainings that happen once in a while. So basically, what is exploit pack? Exploit pack is a suite, it's a framework that will help you to conduct penetration tests, red team exercises, in a more structured and easy way. So basically, we provide you with access to all the public exploits out there. It will give you access to write your own exploits and modify exploits on the fly, conduct local fuzzing, fuzzing through the network directly. For instance, with the TCP fuzzer, something you can do is to choose run. Basically, in the background, it will run Scapy, as I mentioned. But the script that I made in order to run Scapy, what it does is will choose to start fuzzing randomly a port, but then if you run it again with exploit pack as a client or as a server, so you can do it in both, and then from there you can start fuzzing. You will get all your packages that are sent. It will detect when there is a crash, and then from there you can select the package and then click on a skeleton, and basically what it's gonna do, will directly create an exploit and a skeleton, basically a script that you can use to replay the attack that caused the crash. So having that in mind, if you are doing a pen test and then you need to quickly test an application, a custom application or something like that is on the network, then you can do it with exploit pack really quick and find results quite quickly. Well, the same for local fuzzer is, but this is more this is more based on fuzzing local binaries. Again, arguments, a simple one, and you can use random, the brown pattern, lowercase, uppercase, or use all, and then from there also, besides that, it's gonna try to create a rope chain for it if it finds anything useful. You can run it against one application, or you can run it against a list of applications. Yeah. That you can need to have it previously created in a text file. So you select one, then click save, and then run, and it will choose go. Well, report wizard, repeater, shellcode, decoder. This is self-explanatory. This is quite useful for CTFing, UTF locator, and then if you go to the utilities, you will find some more fuzzers as well. So the BAM local, this is a simple, and the BAM packages. This is a simple. These two are two simple. These are two simple fuzzers locally. That what it's gonna do, they're gonna run in the directly in the computer and try to find the package, download it, wait for the install of that package. This is only gonna work for Debian base, so basically Ubuntu and those kind of flavors, because what it's gonna do is gonna get the package, install it, run it, try to find a fuzzer. You can modify this, of course, and then just try to rope chain directly into it. So basically you can find low-hanging fruits from there. Then you have also, just moving forward, you also have your remote control agents. You have the BBS agent, the remote control one. So basically with this one you can take control of a Windows box directly from exploit pack. If you get an agent, it will go into your agent list. For the communication channel, it uses an application object from Internet Explorer. So basically in the background you will not see it, but in the background it's launching everything through Internet Explorer to actually be able to blend with the normal behavior of a computer and the application, and also the channel. It goes through HTTP. Everything goes encrypted as well. Well, actually obfuscated. It's not encrypted, but you can modify it if you want to encrypt it anyway. But I don't think it's necessary for if you are doing highly confidential things with this, then you are doing it wrong. Then you need to use something else. But basically you can take control from it, and then it will spawn a shell here, as I said, and then you can execute remote commands in that computer using the exploit package that we're gonna go through port 80. Same for the cross-site scripting, it's use the same type of communication, but this is gonna only live inside your browser. So basically what you need to do is to just I can show you this one, to spawn a shell, and then what's gonna happen if you're actually running it is that you can we can see the code here. So basically it's gonna create an Ajax connection against exploit pack here, again port 80, but this will not provide you with anything, any access to the underlying operating system. But basically what you're gonna do is gonna be able to take control into the browser's machine. So it's really helpful for phishing attacks, or if you want to conduct attacks against browsers or something like that, and then you wanna maybe you can even use it to do browser autobound, and so basically get the browser connected as a shell, and then from there escalate to an operating system shell, launching an exploit or something like that. Well, besides that, then there is the Gdp connector. So basically this the Gdp connector, this one you can also call it from here. From the Gdp connector you can call it into a Linux box if you are working in an exploit for only for Linux in this case, but I'm working on a connector for IDA and also for Jadra, but that will be coming then in a future release. So basically what it's gonna do is gonna connect the debugging from exploit pack into GDB, and then when you are working on an exploit, let's say I'm working on this skeleton exploit, and I say I don't want this shell, I want a different shell, then I type shell, then I want to try this one, let's say, and then I try this one, I want to execute it or debug it, and if I debug it, then it's gonna be sent to your GDB shell, and then you will get the output directly from here, so you can actually work on your exploit. Yeah, sorry for the resolution. I'm using a VMware here and having a really small resolution, so it doesn't look as it should. But anyway, you get the point. So you run it here, and then you will be able to use actually a connection between exploit pack and GDB, and make use of the debugging techniques that you can use from exploit pack. So work on your exploit, run it, see what it happens, go back to GDB, and you can also take control of GDB from here. And as I mentioned, new connectors for IDA Pro and Jadra are coming on the way as well. Then you have choose a small Python reverse shell you can use here, but you can also modify it directly with the wizard from here. So if you want it for Linux or Linux, Mac or Windows, then you can choose create it here, and then from there you can choose use that code in order to get a persistent shell. If it's running Python. If it's not running Python, something we just added is the shellcode one-liners. So for instance, let's say this is my address. This is useful of course as well for web attacks. So when you want to get that www data user with a shell, with a proper shell, then you can say, okay, I want to use a PHP shell. My shell needs to connect back to this port. This is the default port. You can change it. This is the default port for the listener of exploit pack. That's not the same listener that the agent uses, because the agents mostly go through HTTP, but this one is just a different listener that we can spawn here. So let's say PHP, and this is my IP, and then generate, and then you copy this. Well, if you copy to clipboard, then you can already have this one. And then also give you the hint that if you want to upgrade your shell to a full shell, for instance, if you're running Python in the target, you can just put this and then choose get a proper TTI. And then so basically you copy this and then copy to clipboard, and then you put it into your into execution on the web application, and then start listener, and then you should be able to listen back for the connection and get one with the PHP one-liner. Oh, sorry, but I didn't show you. But of course, you can do it with any of the others commands. And well, basically, what it's gonna do is gonna quickly allow you to create a listener and generate different type of shells. For instance, we can do, let's say, AWK, or let's say PowerShell. Again, same. Let's do like that, generate, and then you will have it here, so it's ready to go. So you don't have to go to the internet and spawn a netcat or anything. You can just do it from exploit pack. It's easier, better, and you will have your shell, and then from that shell you can also connect it to a proper shell, and then if from exploit pack you can try to run any type of privilege escalation exploit. From the privilege escalation exploits, I just added the most useful ones for Windows. This is the .NET Profiler. So basically with the .NET Profiler, what you need to do is to, well, as I said, copy the test.dll from code test. But if you don't want to or trust the test.dll that we put there, you can just grab this code, put it on Visual Studio, and compile the DLL for you. You can change the argument of what's going to happen after the process attachment. So basically what it's doing is just making a DLL using the WinAPI for DLL main, and then passing these arguments. And then if you're gonna run cmd.exe, then you pass it here as a char. And then what's going to happen if you get a injection of that DLL, on this case is for a .NET application. That's what if using WinAPI DLL main. And then once the DLL is attached to the process, then it's going to run this, but it's going to break if you just do a read attach or process attach. And then from there, what you need to run to actually conduct and this attack is to copy the test DLL to C Windows task. There's an arbitrary folder, but you can use any like temp or something like that. But I decided to go with C Windows task because that's something you can use in most of the cases to bypass app locker. Then from there, well, you will just add the classes ID. In this case, we're gonna use this class ID, just created for improc server, and then set the argument to our DLL, the environment for the profiler. So it needs to, well, after creating this class ID, it's gonna set this class ID to the profiler, enable the profiler, and set the profiler path to our DLL. Well, this is for adding it, and then for removing it, you can just run this. And then you have a few UAC bypasses, like normal ones for shell open command, computer default, and computer management. Then I'm missing also the exercises you can work if you are trying to find your way through exploiting and reverse engineering. You can start with these buffer overflow challenges. These are 4 simple ones. If you master these 4 exercises, then these are really simple ones. You should be able to make them in 1 or 2 hours. If you master these 4, then you can move into the rob to win or rob split. And then from there, if you want to do some crack miss and start learning something about reverse engineering, you can try the crack miss that are from exploit pack. So basically, you have the exploit pack challenge. Well, you can compile it or get it from crackmiss.1 here. That one. This is the latest one, but there are a few that I upload. The Dragon Crack is it's kind of a game. So basically, you need to, on this game is kind of a RPG game, role-playing game. So basically, you need to defeat the dragon. So you're gonna play kind of a text mode adventure, and on that adventure, you're gonna have to retrieve a key. So get a key, and then open a chest. but there's gonna be a dragon fighting you, and then when you try to hit the dragon, basically trying to reverse the crack, the dragon will fight back with anti-protection techniques. The anti-protection techniques are gonna be checking if you are in a binware, checking if you are debugging, checking for trap flags, and check if debugger present, and maybe some more. So, and if you get the challenge, and if you win the challenge, then you will get a flag, and that's it. And same for something similar for Crack Miche 1, and the exploit pack challenge is a Windows 32. Well, it checks for if the hardware breakpoint exists and some stuff. And also, if you read at the but this one is a graphical. That's what I meant. It has a UI, so basically it's more. Yeah, some people like to do it not only with a console. Oh, it also has. So if you see all these things, these are an anti-decompilation technique for IDA and Gyra as well. So basically, it's setting up 1,000 of a string. So when you on determining in some function, so when you want to decompile that function, it will not be able to follow the flow on the decompiler, and you will not be able to decompile the code. You need, of course, you can remove it and then you can decompile it. But if you have the binary, it's just a small protection to have. All right. Then you have Autopalm. You have I show reverse shell, the exploit wizard, X editor. So from here you can open any file, and then you can choose go crazy and modify it directly from here. It was a small X editor for the BBS wizard. I already showed you, but this is the wizard you can use for the BBS scripts. So basically you can create your agent name if you want to attach a file to the BBS. So for instance, if you want to use it as a dropper, so you can use the BBS for it. So basically it's gonna put it inside as a base64, decompress it and drop it somewhere and run it. Then you can choose for one of the options to customize your action, like use self-destruct, so basically remove original file after execution, auto run, startup, make a task to run it and try to connect back to exploit pack every 1 minute. Try to bypass UAC directly from the BBS script, and then some self-propagation techniques like copy by email, copy using meetings, copy itself finding shares, and copy itself to auto runs, and then just click on generate, and you will have it there, and then from there you can start your attack. Targets. So basically you go to Mmap scanner, you decide your something you wanna try scan to, or you can add targets directly from here manually. But then from there, what's gonna happen is it's gonna just put a few as an example. But then from there you will get targets. In this case, it's exploitpack.com. It's running on a Linux box. You can see all the open ports. These are the results from the scan. But then you can say, okay, now I want to run Mmap, I want to auto-pawn it, I want to save it. You can also add nodes to it. So basically, when you are doing a pen test, it's quite useful to have a machine list from here. And also, if you want to create a new project, you can choose go to file new project and then create a project for your pen test. And then you will have a different machine list for each project. So let's say I'm working for client X, and then I will have all my machine lists for this client while I'm doing there. Yeah, I think that's quite useful. So as you can see, guys, we're going back to Then if you want to keep updated your exploits, just go and click Update Manager and update. And basically, if you click update, what's going to happen is going to retrieve all the public exploits out there and then put it inside exploit pack. And instead of having like 440 like it's on the community edition, you will have like around 14,000 exploits. Besides that, if you are a premium member, you will have this 0-day premium pack exploits that you will be receiving by email. So they are not through the public exploit manager, but you will receive a sort of zip file with the exploits, and then you can just click on import module and then browse for that one, and then choose click on import, and then it will refresh the 0-day premium pack and the folder, and then you will see a set of 0 days from exploit pack. We don't regarding 0 days, we don't disclose any 0 days that could be used for to be proper, to do proper damage. So all the 0 days from exploit pack mostly are the ones that that I develop. So basically, when I have a 0 day that can be added to exploit pack, it will be added. And mostly every month or every 2 months we release a new 0 days list. Well, if there is a new version or something like that, or you just want to save your exploits, then you can just say backup exploit folder, and then exploit pack will create a new backup for you with the list and the date. So next time you can just say import modules and then go for that one and then import it, so you don't lose your work if you have any problems with it. Where to configure exploit pack, some stuff. There are some other stuff you can look at, but this is an important one, how to configure it. So basically, exploit pack doesn't need to run in Python, but basically exploit pack is a framework to run in the most basic way. Exploit pack is a framework to run scripts. Yeah, so that's the most basic way to look at exploit pack. So you will need a default interpreter. So because it can run 40,000 exploits, what you need on those exploits, you will need to have a default interpreter. On this case, on the default one is going to be Python, but the exploits that you code don't need to be Python based. It can be Perl, it can be Ruby, it can be Bash, it could be anything you liked. But you need to set up properly on the top of the exploit code the interpreter that you're gonna use. Otherwise, exploit pack will always choose the default that is Python. So when it runs, exploit pack is gonna read the top of it, see if the environment variable is set to a different interpreter than the default one, and try to use that one if it needs to be installed on your machine, of course, on the attacker machine, not the attacking one. So set that, and then this is a window box, so you can check if it doesn't work, then it will say sorry, interpreter not found. So you need to browse for the proper folder where the interpreter is. Then from there you can have your nmap scan. You need to fulfill this, and then if you want to change the options, you can change from there. And then if you want to proxy all your communications from exploit pack to basically using a proxy, choose put your proxy and your proxy port there, and then click on save, and then you need to restart exploit pack, and then you are ready to go. So there are some other stuff for you guys to discover, but I would like you guys, if you have any questions or you want to learn more of exploit pack, then you can go to exploit pack, exploit manual, and here you will find a small online book with some content. You can find some guides on how to use most of the feature of exploit pack. And if you still have problems or have any issues with it, you can go and click on help, join Discord, and then you can join the Discord channel of Exploit Pack. Alright, well guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick overview on the version 13, on the future for 2020. What we're gonna be working on is on the engine of Exploit Pack. We want to connect it more and more to the compilers, and also try make it more useful. More and more useful. It is quite strong now, but we want to make it even more strong in that scenario where you are developing an exploit and want to work with a debugger or a decompiler and have it connected directly. So that's something that is on the backlog for us. And also besides that, we want to keep working on different ways of helping red teamers with the exercises. So we want Exploit Pack to be a tool that will help you achieve the results that you need, remain undercover, remain undetectable. That's basically the goal for 2020. So looking at the most scenarios, if you for red team attacks and exploit development, if you have any feedback on those, or if you have anything you miss or you want to add to Exploit Pack, just go ahead and contact us. We are quite open and open to new ideas. All right, guys, thanks for tuning by. See you online. Bye.